we got merch, which is kind of weird because this is not a really big YouTube channel yet, but let me show you how. So we tried something out here, and let me just run down real quick how this worked out and how we ended up getting merch. Now, this is actually a shirt that, here. This is a shirt that I designed. This is my own design. Look at that, Speed Demon design, little logo there. If you recognize the RX-7, well, that's off of a sticker that I had made a long time ago. This is the Street Fighter RX-7 t-shirt. My own design, but you see this Speed Demon design logo? Well, if you guys know what, like you guys are following and stuff, my other channel I have is an art channel where I do all my painting and like that palette of the, like I did this, painted her, I got that palette there, the old school car on it, stuff like that. Everything I do art-wise goes on the Speed Demon design channel. So that's how this kind of came about. I figured, well, I can do computer design, Photoshop designs, all that kind of thing, and I can make some designs that I think are cool. You guys think it's cool? I don't know. I'm not selling much yet. But what I did was, since I was doing this design, I figured I would start an online store, see how that works out, try to sell my designs, my ideas, and at the same time, why not throw it in some Project 253 merch? And that's what I did. So I got some merch. We got some masks made because, well, you know, we all need this. Check it out. That's an air breather. Huh? See it? Pretty cool, right? Speed Demon design logo. Got t-shirts, obviously, and sweaters. So let me tell you how we got this done. There was 2 websites I found online, and this is what they're about. So before getting into too far into all that and how it was done and what I did to have shirts done, made, and all that stuff, let's look at the difference between direct to garment, print to order, made to order, whatever you want to call it, that kind of thing, or if you get it done in bulk. So about 20 years ago, I had another thing going. It wasn't Project 253, it was something else. It's kind of like a little part of our history, but if you guys remember the Trev Rep crew, which was a car club, kind of a race team thing. We started off with BMX and shit. Anyways, this was a shirt I had made about 20 years ago. We had almost 100 made, maybe 50, something like that. In the end, it ended up costing us roughly $10 a piece, but I had to order over $1,000 worth. And with direct to garment like this one here, you could do that for $0 down, 0 in. There's websites that accommodate what you need. You send them your design, you design it on the website, figure out what you want, and then you let them take care of the rest. They do the printing, the packaging, the shipping. They ship it directly to your customer and then just send you the profit. Pretty easy, right? Hell yeah, it's actually not hard at all. And this is how I did it. Now, if you look at bulk shipping, you can get it done cheaper. Back then, it was a different technology. Maybe it's different now, but when it comes to silk screening, I think there's some sort of limit on your coloring and how you can do stuff and how many layers of color that's gonna take. Like, here's an example right here. See, there's some red, there's some white, there's some gray, there's some other grays, there's little different shades. That's gonna be a whole bunch of different layers. Now, I designed this design to be able to do it in silk screening, but that's not how this was made. This is direct print. You know, when silk screening and getting stuff ordered in bulk, to be worth it, to actually make some sort of profit on it, I did the calculations and everything else after shipping, taxes, this, that, whatever you gotta pay these companies. If you don't buy like $1,500 worth of t-shirts, your resale is gonna be not enough profit to cover that, if you can even sell those. And if you can't, well, you just spent $1,500 and you have a whole bunch of stuff in stock. And I'm really happy I didn't do that because we've had this merch out for like a month now. I've been throwing it up on Instagram and all kinds of stuff, Facebook, YouTube. We haven't really sold that much. Definitely not close to $1,500 worth of stock, that's for sure. So if you're gonna start off and you know you're gonna sell them and you've got some money to throw into it, kind of like a big fat investment kind of deal, go ahead with the bulk orders. That's definitely the best way to do it, because if you could throw like $4 grand at that, let's just say, a crazy number, you're definitely going to make a profit. Your profit margin is going to be very high. And the profit margin is the difference what you've paid for the product versus what you sell for it and what your clientele or your customers are sending you for payments. So that's something to think about. So what I did with these is direct to garment, made to order. So like if you go to the site, you want this shirt, I'm going to put the link below. You can order it, they're going to make it for you and then ship it to you. You'll get it in the mail. Easy peasy, nice and done, you know. You can order with a credit card, PayPal, and now with the times the way things are, right, with COVID and everything else that's happening, it's not a bad idea to go do your shopping online. And now we're gonna talk about the companies that I did this with. I used 2 different websites. I used Teespring.com, which is a company that's in the States. You go online, you sign up, you make an account, you can make all your designs, you upload your images. Ping images work well, that PNG thing there, .png. You use those because the backgrounds are transparent and you can move it around on the shirt. You get to pick the color of the shirt, the placement, the sizing, all that stuff. You can do it right there. And it's great, it's cool. You can line it up and do everything nice and designing. And the other one is Redbubble. Basically the same exact idea, but Redbubble seems to have a bit more, you can make more things. You can make, like, example, shower curtains and bed coverings and pillows, notebooks, all that kind of crazy stuff, where the Teespring one is more like clothing, and you can get masks made, all that kind of stuff, but it's more tame, more sound, let's say. So right now that's it. We're looking at the difference between Teespring and Redbubble. I dealt with them both, and I definitely have opinions on how both of them work. There's both good things and bad things to both of them. Stick around and figure out what I think, and then maybe this will help you in deciding if you're going to use one or the other or both. Now, the first thing I want to touch on is how easy it is to use these things and the way the sites are laid out and how user-friendly it really is. And for both of them, I find they were both pretty easy. You can do this with basic knowledge of your stuff, like how just basically read, they tell you how to do it. So you just follow the instructions, do what they suggest you do, and go on from there. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but not too bad. Now, the first one that I worked with was Teespring. That was the first one I tried, and that I found was very straightforward, very simple. The nice part about that website is that you can make your own stores, and you can have, like, basically different lines if you wanted to, and the designing process is nice and easy. With Teespring, you can design on the front and the back of the shirt, and they also have other options for full print shirts. So I found that the Teespring is very creative outlet. Like, you can put stuff exactly how you want it, front, back, mix up your designs, add multiple images to that same shirt. Where Redbubble is kind of the other way around a little bit, not the other way around, but it's much different. Although Redbubble will offer you way more product line and more things, more options to put it on. When it comes to designing your shirts and your whatever you're working on, their system is very much, it's a lot simpler than the Teespring one, in the way that you can only do so much. So somebody that's kind of creative and wild and likes to play around, and like, you can usually pull things off where you do different designs and ideas with multiple layers and stuff like that. It's not going to work out that great. With Redbubble, you can only do an image if you're doing a t-shirt on the front or the back. You don't get to do both unless you go for the full print shirt, where you kind of have some freedom there. But when you do the full print shirt, you're going to have to download a stencil, like a layout, a way to put your images, because when you upload your graphic to that item, that shirt, that product, you can only upload one image. So that image has to have everything in all the right spots and all the right dimensions. You have to do it yourself ahead of time. I would suggest doing this on Photoshop or something of the sort, so that you can really line it up. So Teespring lets you put all this stuff together, nice, easy, however you see fit on your own. You can put your logos all over your shirt, on the arm, whatever, if you select the full print one, of course. You could do front, back, your sizes, you could add multiple images. So I could have had this and some other stuff, and I'll get to that in a second, because we did that with the limited line from Teespring for the Project 253 merch. But between the two websites, creatively, if you're going to do some wild stuff and you want to keep on changing it up and just experiment and have fun with it, I find the Teespring site is much better, where the Redbubble one is much simpler. So you can't be as creative and can't have as much fun with it, but there's ways around it. If you're good at Photoshop and you do the stencil thing, I'm sure you can have it covered, you can figure it out and have it handled. I'm working on it now. I'm working on a lot of stuff right now, so that'll be in the works. Maybe some future merch, we're gonna start seeing some like really cool designs. I wanna have, for example, pit crew shirts with our names on it and stuff, maybe something on the sleeve and then the logo on the back of the crew, all that kind of crazy stuff. So for ease of use to do the designing and stuff, I would say that, and setting up, initial setup, I would say that the Teespring one kind of has the advantage here. Once you got all your designs done, you're ready to go, you got multiple things up, you can set up all your pricing, and you can set up how much profit you get. You can even play around with the qualities of the shirts and all the products that you're going to use. They have different grades, which will change the prices and ultimately change your profit margin. So you got to think about that when you're going into it and getting ready to set up to sell. Now, when you start selling on these places, the first one, the Teespring one, is kind of cool because you can set up multiple storefronts. So what we did was we had the Speed Demon design, that storefront, selling all the Speed Demon products that I've done, the logos and all the kind of the cool stuff. And then there was a completely separate store for this channel, the Project 253 Limited line. And the idea behind that, I put it as limited because I don't know how long we'll keep these designs out. I did designs with multiple graphics on them, and they turned out, well, they looked cool designing them. And with the different store setup, it was kind of nice to be able to differentiate the two different lines, the two different brands, if you will. And it made it like a nice display, a nice package where you can go and check everything out, look at it, click on what you want, add it to cart. So to set up the store and the looks of it, Teespring is much better, I find, than Redbubble, because with Redbubble, because there's so many different products and stuff like that, when you upload an art piece, you can, instead of making stores, you make collections. Now, if you go check on the Redbubble site, if you look at our store, there's the Speed Demon design stuff, there's the Project 253 stuff, there's even a collection of tuner car stuff, there's a collection of muscle car related stuff. So everything's kind of separated like that. Now, when you initially go to the site, it doesn't pop up as like the 253 store or the Speed Demon design store, but it will show you all the products available and the different collections you can go. So right now you can actually jump on there and you can check it out. You can buy 253 t-shirts, phone covers, cases, all this kind of stuff, you know, anything you want. It's pretty much, well, not anything, but there's a lot of stuff you can go and check out on there, and it all looks pretty cool. But it's all basically run under the Speed Demon design logo, branch name, brand name, whatever you want to call it. Second part, when it comes to selling and how stuff looks and how it's presented, once again, Teespring for the win, because it just, everything just comes out looking prettier, looking better, and looking more professional, more collected. And I really enjoyed designing and working with that and setting up a store. I found it a lot of fun. Where the Redbubble one is not as creative, like you don't have as much freedom unless you do all your creativeness ahead of time. You do the whole Photoshop deal, but you know, maybe not everybody's good at that. I'm okay at it, I enjoy it, so I don't mind doing it, but it might be a different story for you. That's something to think about as well. Now, purchasing, getting your orders, shipping, all that kind of stuff, both companies work very, very similar. Now, this one I'm gonna start with Redbubble because, well, I'm Canadian and Redbubble has multiple outlets all around the United States and parts of Canada, so that becomes a huge advantage. So with Redbubble, the company that made this one, the shipping wasn't so bad. It was like $5 to ship the shirt, no big deal. You get multiple products, they add them in there, goes up a little bit, not so bad. And it was only like maybe a week I waited and I got the stuff. So it was real quick, it was easy, it was fast. I paid it with my PayPal. They sent it right away, no questions. Everything worked out really good. Now Teesprings is exclusively in the States. So to have it shipped up here to Canada, well, we're dealing with exchange rates, all kinds of different things. And maybe it's because of, we just had this big deal with COVID, right? So both companies are gonna slow down their shipping and everything else. But to get the Project 253 merch from Teespring, I waited at least twice as long, and the shipping was twice as much. Now, the other bad thing about Teespring is they don't do bulk shipping. So if you went to that site and you ordered, say you ordered a sweater and a t-shirt for yourself, and then you ordered a t-shirt for your lady friend, your girlfriend, your wife, and then maybe your kid wanted one too, so you ordered that. Now Teespring is gonna charge you $10 shipping for each individual product. So right there, you just paid $40 shipping for 4 products. Like, you should have got a whole extra sweater in that deal or something like that. So Teespring takes forever. And the shipping prices are horrible because they just don't do bulk shipping, where they could have just waited and checked the orders and put everything in the same bag. But nope, I guess that doesn't work too good for them. When it comes to that, Redbubble is definitely the win. It's the way to go. It's closer to home, which obviously helps a lot. That's most of the reason for all these charges and prices. But Redbubble just seems to have their shit together better when it comes to shipping and getting stuff to their client at better rates and better prices, because Teespring, I'll be honest, I think that's ridiculous. If I ordered 4 t-shirts and paid $40 shipping, plus what already costs for the t-shirts, like, you're spending money for nothing just because they don't offer that simple solution that the company should do. You have somebody sitting there putting the shirt in a bag. If you could read the other ones, you might be able to figure it out. And now, lastly, I want to get to the product, the quality of the product, how I felt about it when I got it, what I seen, how it looks, how it feels. And that's going to be ultimately the deciding factor in this, right? Because if you want merchandise to just have merch, or just you want to start designing your own stuff and start your own clothing brand, you're going to want stuff that looks good. Because if somebody pays a lot of money for this and pays Teespring's $10 shipping and gets it and it's ugly, That's not good for business. They're gonna remember that. The first interaction is always the most important, right? So as soon as you get this, you're gonna, oh, well, if you're not happy, it's not good. Well, you're not gonna bother ordering from there again, are you? When I got the products, I had to wait extra long. That's why this video took so long. It's because I had to wait extra long for the Teespring horrible shipping deal and paying too much for the shipping. And then when I got the products, I was able to compare them side by side, different designs and the quality of it, and see how it is. And I'll let you know how I felt. So the first thing I got was this shirt. This is from Redbubble. Now, if you look at those colors, they're great. They're like, I'm really happy with the way it looks. The reds are nice. There's no like blurring. There's no messed up colors. It's good design. You got the Speed Demon logo in there. Can you see? Oh yeah. See now, it's kind of like a lot smaller, and it came out clear. Everything is perfectly crystal clear. The colors are opaque. They're thick. They're nice. The shirt feels like quality. It's a Gildan shirt, but I mean, it fits good. Feels good. It's all right. I like it. The second product that came in, this is also from Redbubble, right? Speed Demon Design, Redbubble store. This is from Redbubble, the mask. I don't know if you guys can hear me good, but look, that's pretty decent looking, right? Oh yeah, it's got Speed Demon there. It's got an air breather from an old muscle car. It looks cool. I'm happy with how that looks. I think that looks great. I think the shirt looks great, feels great, everything. Then I waited for the Teespring shipping, which took way too long and cost way too much. Remember, I got the product, opened the bag, and very disappointing. Here's the sweater. Got the small logo in the front, the bigger logo in the back with the Lagace Performance and the Speed Demon Design logo. But look at the color difference. Look, I'll hold this up to my shirt. Look how crappy that looks. It's all chunky looking. The colors are shit. The colors are all faded. Look. That was the same red. That was from the same design kind of thing. Those colors should be, these reds should be exactly, that's not red. That's like some weird gross caramel color. And this is supposed to be black. It's like gray and it looks horrible. And then even the back, super faded. Not impressed, looks like shit. Everybody else that ordered from Teespring for these things, they all came back with the same complaints. Even look at that, like this, the Speed Demon one was the one that came out the best, but it's still faded. It's still like, I don't know if it was a problem with their printing press, if this was like the end of the day, the last run, they tried to get that little bit of ink out on it, but this is just straight up not acceptable for me. So this morning, and this is way before you saw this video, but I eliminated the Teespring store because I'm embarrassed to sell this to somebody, basically. I mean, now it's great, I'm gonna wear it in the shop, and also it feels kind of cheap, the sweater and stuff. It's a little small. If you're gonna order them really big, because this is a double XL, and I'm sure the first time I wash it, it's gonna be shrunk, no good for me. I'm gonna have to give it to like, I don't know, some little kid that's only 3 feet tall. So at the end of the day, really, Redbubble's the way to go. Teespring lost the battle on this. First time I worked with them, they sent stuff that was really not acceptable. So if you're looking into this, now you know. Thanks for watching. The links are below for the Redbubble store. You can get our Project 253 merch there. Don't worry about it, we're gonna keep it coming. And if you do go shop there, well, thank you so much. We appreciate that so much because every little bit helps. We got this really crazy build going on that I'm trying to hide behind me right now. And if you guys wanna see that, well, if you want to see it before Halloween, we need to hit 1,000 subs. So share this video, get your friends to subscribe to it and everything else. Get things moving. And every shirt you buy and every piece of merch you buy helps us out and helps along the way. So if you want to see some really crazy shit, go for it. And stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Stay happy.